Hello, everyone. Welcome to Jump Up Supercast, the only podcast on the internet where every single host will be guest starring in the Sonic the Hedgehog live-action film. I'm Will, and joining me today, Brandon.
I'm going to play the part of the guy that was going to be Chris Pratt.
Ills.
I'd rather fucking die.
And Noah.
I'll be Knuckles.
Hey.
I'll show them the way.
You'll show them that you are the fighting freak. How are we doing this week, boys?
I mean, we've been playing Smash all week. I mean, can we be doing any better?
It's a good question. It's a good question. That intro will be the only mention of the godforsaken Sonic the Hedgehog poster that came out this week, so...
Thank God.
Yeah, what a nightmare.
That's
It's looking up. The podcast looking up already.
Mm-hmm. You know where Sonic does look good, though? In Smash Brothers. Looks real good in Smash Brothers.
Yeah, he does.
Sonic is in Smash? Holy shit.
Dude.
Megaton.
It delayed the game for it. So it's been a week now, basically, right? Add in 6 more hours of the time of this recording, and we will have had a full week with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And there wasn't a ton of news this week, so I figured it works out. Let's just have a big, nice, long conversation about a video game that we all like quite a bit, Super Smash Bros. So I figured we could do like a little bit of structure to this one. Their game helpfully gives you 5 different categories in the main menu. Let's just use that as our little guiding posts.
Oh,
and the biggest thing right there, Smash. All right, so the game itself. How do we feel about the way it plays, about the roster, just overall our general impressions of the game itself right now?
Easily the best Smash ever.
Yeah.
Like, it's improvement in every way, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, I really like it, but I really don't like the air dodge. Holy shit, I don't like the air dodge.
It's weird because it's like it feels better than dodging, but it does leave you vulnerable after you used it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot more like Melee's air dodge than the other iterations that came after.
Yeah, it's nice because it doesn't leave you fully vulnerable.
I don't know why you pronounce it that way. Maybe I'm pronouncing it wrong. But Melee's air dodge, like, it was weird because, like, once you, like, click it and press it, like, you would hover in the spot. Like, you go to the right, left, down, or up for, like, a second, and you would, like stay in the air for, like, you would hover there for a while. Whereas, like, Smash 4, Smash 5, actually, Ultimate, you just, like, dodge and just keep going. You don't stop, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's so much delay from the next time that you can actually make another action.
Yeah. That's why you most likely should try be using it like when you're near a platform or the ground, so that way you land and you can use an action. But
yeah, but that's really hard when you're like high in the air and
jungled,
somebody's coming at you. Yeah, that's real bad.
Yeah, I mean, landing, I mean, this is, well, you can argue either way on whether or not this is better or worse, but landing in Smash 4 is pretty easy when you're off, both like being off stage to getting back on. You with the air dodge paired with a lot of good recoveries, pretty much universally, you could get on the stage more easy than you can in Ultimate, right? Like even just jumping, getting back on the ground, I feel more vulnerable, so I don't jump as much unless it's the little short hop thing that they now have, which is nice. I love that, the little press jump and attack at the same time, and you'll do a guaranteed short hop with a aerial of your choosing with whatever stick you're pressing along the way. But yeah, so I mean, you're not wrong there. I think overall the game feels faster. It feels like you rack up damage more quickly. That might be because I'm playing as heavies a lot.
It definitely feels faster. Just playing it, you know, that's the first thing that came to my head was, damn, this feels really quick, and I like it. I'm not one who gets caught up on technical stuff. To me, you know, jumping from one to the next, unless I'm playing them right next to each other, they all just feel like Smash to me. You know,
sure.
I don't say, oh wow, this feels really different. Like sometimes I'll notice a little bit of things, but I don't know. It just, to me though, it just plays as good as any of them ever have, and there's just way more options, and I love it. It's amazing.
I don't know. I feel like I feel the difference with each one. Like I know exactly which one I'm playing.
And there's definitely people out there like you who do. But personally, for me, who's never really been one who gets into like all the technical aspects of like fighting games, for example, they all just, you know, like I said, unless I'm playing one and then I jump directly into another one, I don't really feel the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I think that sort of from the very marketing of the beginning, this sort of seemed like a refinement of 4. I think it's actually more different than 4 than I expected it to be in the moment to moment of how I feel playing it. But, like you said, Smash at the kind of fundamental level is still the same sort of base that's building off of. And I think because of that, you can have, I guess we can get to it. The rosters, everyone is here. We talked about that a whole lot. You start with 8 characters. So that means you have roughly, 66 to unlock.
So many. I still don't have them all. It's so crazy.
Yeah. I unlocked them all on Sunday.
I didn't go that crazy. Like
I did. I just wanted to get them all. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still unlocking them. It's so many.
The newcomer fights are like actually harder this time. Like whenever you step in.
Oh no, yeah. Some characters are really being a bitch. They were so difficult.
Yeah. So I guess we should mention the way that the unlocks work it's different than it was in Smash 4 or in even in Brawl, where it was the match number for versus matches. Now it's a timer. So no matter what, if you were playing in the game, there's a 10-minute timer. Wherever you back out of whatever mode you're playing, you'll get an unlock. You also get guaranteed if you beat Classic. So how did you go? Did you just do it just playing versus and unlocking them as you played? Did you do Classic mode to try to get specific characters, or did you just let it happen naturally?
I started doing Classic. Like I did a couple of Classic. I started with Mario and Donkey Kong. Then I was like, I went into World of Light and I started unlocking characters there. And then every about 10, 15 minutes, I would back out to get another character. So it was like alternating between that.
Yeah.
Going in World of Light and just backing out.
I played exactly.
And then unlocked pretty quickly.
I played Classic mode exactly one time. I got one character and the rest I did versus.
Well, all right. That's fair. I was talking to Moose about this some this week because he's gone, he's dead, R.I.P. But he was very against the idea of the character unlocks when they announced it. He thought that Smash should just have every character available from the beginning. And I always thought I like the unlocks in previous games. I think that the 10-minute timer actually works out really well because whenever you get a newcomer, you sort of whenever I get a new character, you always want to try them a couple times, right? And so just when you would sort of get the feel for the character you just unlocked, it would be about 10 minutes. Here's another one to fight, And that's fun. It sort of kept me on the hamster wheel of unlocks in a way that I thought was cool and engaging. I already have played more single player, I think, in Ultimate than I did in the entirety of Smash 4's lifespan, So I think it worked. Overall, the unlocks.
I had a really good time unlocking characters. Like I just loved it. It was constantly something to do, and for me, it was really fun too. Just playing Smash, like just the Smash mode, and Friday night, a bunch of people over, everybody's playing. Whoever won, that was kind of a fun thing too. Whoever wins the match is the one who gets to challenge the character, and then everybody's cheering them on. Oh, come on, get him.
Yeah.
That's really cool, and I really enjoyed it. And even after just playing single player, it was a ton of fun. It's just constantly something to do, and I don't know, I really liked it a lot. I hope they do it like this going forward too.
I went over to a friend's place, and he was still in the process of unlocking, and there was like 8 of us, and there was one guy that was really hyped for Daisy. He wanted to play as Daisy so bad, but he was also being like a real coward and just camping the whole time and everything. And so someone else won. It came around for the Daisy unlock, and the guy who won just walked off stage and died, so we didn't unlock Daisy. I laughed a whole lot. Yeah, but I think that you're right insofar as just having that to look as a carrot on the stick constantly makes everything more fun. Have any of you guys tried the Squad Strike, the new thing, the new tag mode, essentially, sort of?
No,
not yet.
Did not know.
We did the other one where you go through the roster.
Mm-hmm. Smashdown. That one's also cool.
That was a lot of fun.
I wish that both of them were online. That would be cool, but they're not. So I only got to do it locally.
Yeah, that's one of the disappointing things. While the online is better than it was in Smash 4, obviously, like with the arena and everything, they still didn't include all the modes that they have in Smash, the regular local Smash modes.
Yeah, I don't know why they do this for like Smash and for Mario Party. Why do they do this? I don't understand.
I think it's just maybe it's a Nintendo thing, maybe it's it's a Japanese company thing, but they really view online as a separate thing than like the single player or the local, when like in a lot of Western games they're the same thing, right? Like the functionality is generally identical. There's sometimes more functionality in the online than in the local, for games like Far Cry. Where with this, Squad Strike is cool because it's like it is fun when I played it with my friends in real life. It's just a one-on-one thing mostly that you can like plan against their characters a little bit, right? Like you pick 5, they pick 5, or you can do 3-on-3, either one. And whenever you die, you become a different character. Yeah. And so it's cool because you'll think, do I lead off with my strongest? Do I save my strongest for last? Do I have a mix of like lightweights and heavyweights? There's fun little mind games that go on there. It has the Pokemon Stadium thing where you like hide your controller as you put the order of the characters you want to play as in, which is funny. But it's neat. Yeah, I guess I meant to ask this. So like the rule sets, do you think that the change in the way you go about it, so it goes rules, then stage, then character, do you think that is an improvement on the way it used to be?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think so too. Like, one, the fact that it's always started on 2-minute time stock for 4 games was insane. When like, you have to imagine that the majority of players are out there playing with stocks as their primary thing, even casual people, right? Because just lives make more sense than this weird time thing where you get as many kills as you can in the time frame.
Basically just last hitting every guy that's about to die. That's high damage.
Yeah. I guess moving on to spirits, though. This is where there's a ton, right? On the last Direct, they spent tons of time on spirits. And then there's the big thing, of course, which they didn't go too into in the Direct, but now we know a lot about, World of Light, the adventure mode. How far are all of us in it right now?
It's hard to say. I don't know.
Without,
I know exactly where I am in it. 0%.
0%? All right, you have a definitive answer. Thank you.
I have not started World of Light.
Yeah, I've beaten Giga Bowser, and I've beaten that guy that's in Subspace Emissary. The guy with the helmet, the motorbike guy. I forgot what his name was. But other than that, I've been going around just clearing like the whole map as much as I can.
Yeah.
I haven't been focusing and going in like the secret areas or the dungeons, quote unquote. So
yeah,
I don't know exactly. It doesn't show a percentage anyway, so I have no idea how close I am to the end or not.
Yeah,
when you save and you back out and you go back in, it'll give you a percent. I'm pretty sure.
Oh.
Or no, maybe it doesn't give you the percent, but it gives you how many spirits you cleared.
It does say that, yeah.
Yeah, I 100%ed it yesterday. I did the last thing. Yeah. I think my total play time was 21 hours for World of Light. I did a lot of it. Well, it was my lost power for 2 days because of a snowstorm. I was mentioning to the guys before the podcast, and all my other electronics were dead. So I was like, well, I have my Switch and I have like a little portable battery thing. So I'll just play this to pass the time. And I played World of Light. There's like 600 some odd spirits, which sounds like a lot. In fact, is just barely over half the total number of spirits in the game in World of Light. But I was really surprised. There's a lot of fun surprises along the way. I'm sure some of them have been spoiled for you online, but there's just little details that I love. Have Noah and Brandon, since you have played World of Light, have you engaged at all with like spirit teams and building those out at all, or do you just sort of go with the autofill and just play the battles?
No, I always had. Once I got I was trying different things. First, I unlocked Rhino. I was like, yeah, I got Rhino. I'm going to use him forever. And then I found a couple other ones that I was like, oh, these are cool and interesting. And then I found the llama dudes from Animal Crossing. I don't know their names.
Yeah.
Shopkeepers.
Reese.
And they make you start with an ore club. So I was like, So I would just start the match and just swing the ore club and just KO everything. I was like, yeah, this is what I'm doing.
It's very fun.
But then, go on.
The support spirits, which is like are give you little buffs. Most of them are 1 or 2. The ore club, it costs 3 slots, so that's how you know they're like, hey, you got a strong advantage if you got this walking in, which is funny.
Yeah. But then there's some stages where you have to switch because like there's too much wind, so you can't jump, otherwise you die. Mm-hmm. Or there's no other platforms and the ground is poison or lava, so you have to switch to those that give you immunity to it, otherwise you're fucked.
Yeah.
So when in those situations, I switch around. Otherwise, I'd use that. And of course, stamina battles. With stamina, I have a spirit that gives me extra stamina. I think it's like a fruit or something.
There's a bunch of them. There's Pac-Man fruit. There's the Mario Golf Kid. There's a bunch.
Yeah, and then I got the one that gives me a staff, which is that item that does more damage the further away you are. Mm-hmm. So I just start with those two, and pretty much just, I think that's the only combo I have for that specific set. Yeah, and I just snipe them from far away, and they damage them, and so I get a good advantage in the beginning of the fight with the stamina battle.
I like lipstick in stamina battles because you can just hit them and kind of just drain their health while you're fighting.
That too,
yeah.
I switch every single battle. I switch my spirits around. Mm-hmm. In fact, because the game gives you more rewards for completing it with a less.
When you're at disadvantage, triangle disadvantage.
Yeah. Well, I switch it to make sure I have an advantage, but I make sure my overall score is less.
Yeah.
For the spirits, so that way I get more bonus items. And I switch them every time. A lot of times I'll do, I'll hit suggestion, and I'll cycle through a couple of them, and then sometimes I'll make a little tweaks to if sometimes they're not giving me what I want, so I'm like, all right, you know what, I'll tweak this one a little bit. That's how I approach every battle.
Mm-hmm. I think it's neat that in World of Light, like you said, that I've seen different people have very few repeat strategies from different people, right? Like I walk in, I got Star Rod super early, and I got Donkey Kong early, and Star Rod makes it where if you get the first hit, you become invincible for 5 seconds or whatever. And so that was sort of the thing that I would do for a lot of it is Joe, try to get the first hit, do as much damage as you can because you're a big strong guy, you're a big monkey, and then try to finish him off fast. But then there were other people like Noah mentioned, there's some of them are hard. The legend fights are difficult. They're genuinely
fucking Pauline.
Well, Pauline's the one that someone showed their thing. They got the sniper gun, I forget what exactly it's called. The staff, yeah. And they hit her twice because 75 meters is such a big stage, and she starts on the other side of it. They two-shot her. And you're like, oh, I'm so stupid. Why did I not think of that? Ah, man. And that's fun. Someone else uses the launch star item. They throw that out there, and they always throw them as, I forget who it was, but they always throw them into the launch star to send them off stage. And, so there's cool different approaches that people use the spirits for rather than just, I want to make the numbers the biggest they can possibly be. Which is fun. It's fun that people are actually using some level of strategy. There's not a huge amount of cutscenes in World of Light. Has that impacted your guys' experience yet, or are you sort of fine with?
It's fine.
Absolutely.
I don't care.
Yeah, I think the trade-off is it is fun that these environments are from the games, unlike in Subspace, right?
Yeah, I love all the little details and references they make with the fights.
There's a lot of really cool things on that map. There's that one city that I really liked. That a lot of they were in the buildings. There was ones that were designed and it was the N64 logo in a GameCube building and a Game Boy Advance, and
there's a
there was a world. There was literally Donkey Kong Country in World of Light, and I fucking loved it so much.
Yeah, and then and it's I go
and then the Street Fighter traveling with the plane and everything, from country to country, fighting each individual fighter. That was
there's a Mario Kart track that has an F-Zero car on it, and you can only get in the car if you have an F-Zero racer in your party.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that. I like the different. It gets even further and more elaborate as it goes on with the dungeons and stuff. But just hey, I'm doing, I have the spirit to match this thing and it'll activate. I just like that because it means that, because there oftentimes they won't necessarily be a big signifier that this is the one that will help, that will tell you, that will help you make progress. So it rewards you for looking around a little bit more, right? But if you think about it, you can sort of discern, there's a boat. Oh, I saw Cap'n up there earlier. He pilots a boat, obviously, in New Leaf. Let me go get Cap'n. Oh, that's how it works. And that's fun. It rewards knowledge of the games if you put the time in to actually care about the
rocks,
games.
and you need Bomberman to destroy the rocks.
Have you guys engaged at all on the spirit boards thing?
I have
a little
not
bit.
Actually.
The other thing under the spirits tab.
Yeah, I tried. Some of them are really fucking
nice.
hard.
Sorry, go ahead.
Like some of them are incredibly difficult. Like I just absolutely got my ass destroyed.
Mm-hmm. Because and I mean the thing that is nice. Well, I wish that you could refight, though I get why you can't. But the 5-minute loop I think is really good for like being in the back of a car, like just playing. Like once you sort of clear all of them out, it will be about 5 minutes, and you'll have a whole new set to work against, and keep going like that, which is cool. I love the spirits that can evolve. If you're a spirit that can change at level 99, you are getting my priority. I just love it so much. It's the dumb Pokemon part of it.
I loved them. There was a Pokemon. I've had a Pokemon one that evolves. Groudon turns into Primal Groudon.
Mm-hmm.
They're super interesting. Like I was saying, I said in this chat earlier, I use Soup Pasta. Tsubasa from Fire Emblem.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Yeah.
And she has her transformation. Says she transforms into a pop star. And that was super cool. And then there's Captain Rainbow. Well, Nick turns into Captain Rainbow. Like, I loved them. I was like, oh, man. And I always am like, some of them I'm not even sure. I'm like, what the hell does this turn into?
Yes.
Like, Boom Boom. I was like, what the fuck does Boom Boom turn into? He turns into Pom Pom and Boom Boom, which is neat.
Yeah, and there's some that, like you said, I mean, and part of it is that there's, like we mentioned, there's like 1,300 spirits. And this is the first time since probably even Brawl where I saw a thing and said, what is this from? What game is this? Right? Like in Melee, that was a big thing because I was younger, where I was like, what's this guy and this guy? What's Ayumi Tachibana from the Famicom Detective Club? What is that? Now there's like a dozen of those where I'm like, who are you? And that's fun, as a guy that's spent a lot of time learning about Nintendo over, my 23 years of life. It's fun to be like, oh, there's so much I don't know that Masahiro Sakurai just has all up in his brain. He's the guy that is an encyclopedia on this stuff.
Yeah, there was one that was like this girl that and she was like this badass looking chick, and I was like, who the fuck's this? I was like, this girl looks awesome, and then I looked it up. It was from some like DS RPG that only came out in Japan, and I was like, wow, I'm actually kind of interested. I want to play this game, even though I probably can't unless there's an English patch.
Yeah. And then just like weird, like I'm just scrolling through right now, like the guy from Disaster Day of Crisis. You're like, good, someone remembers that game exists. That's very nice.
Well, I would remember that
spirit.
game.
I need to find him.
If it was ever fucking released over here, I'd remember that.
It's true. But this is the way. This is the way that we start to go about it. So yeah, I mean the spirits. I guess we can transition on into the like vault part of it. Are the clear replacement for trophies. Do you miss the trophies in this game?
Not really.
Not really. I mean, we did have like 3 games with them. I mean, I think I collected most of them. I think in Melee I only had like missing 1 or 2 that were like.
Technically, we had 4 games with them.
Yeah.
Well.
But yeah, I mean, I've had enough of trophies. I definitely had enough of stickers, so I don't miss it that much.
Yeah, fucking stickers. Yeah, who cares?
And like that's I think part of the thing that's fun about spirits is the actual fights themselves is like the way they make this stuff work. In terms of like, oh, that's cute, that makes me laugh. Like you fight Mumcar from Xenoblade Chronicles, of course, a game that we talked about last week. And midway through, he becomes giant and metal. And I won't go into too many details, but that's very cheeky, Sakurai. I get it.
I absolutely loved the small details. That was the coolest thing about it, was, Sakurai, paying homage to all of these series, and the characters that are in them with each fight, with just the smallest little details.
Yeah.
It's super cool. Even like, one of the first ones I did, like you fight Eevee, right? And you fight, I think it was a bunch of Yoshis.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, how does Yoshi mean Eevee? But then you fight like a red Yoshi and a yellow Yoshi and a blue Yoshi.
Yeah.
And they're like Vaporeon, and they each have like, different like things. I think they have different items, or I think like the red one had like the little
has the spicy curry.
Oh, the spicy curry.
Yeah, because he's breathing fire, and then the Jolteon has the screw attack, which is an electric like wheel.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh,
just like tiny details. It's like super fucking cool.
Yeah. and there's 1,300 of them. So you're like, well, I mean, good lord, you know. And that's, you know, like there was one I loved that was like Paula from Earthbound, where Ness gets his final smash immediately when you're fighting him, and which obviously she's in the final smash, so you're like, okay, makes sense. And then as soon as that final smash goes away, the villager shows up, and it's clearly supposed to be like her. And then, but Ness, they also change, like they make the moveset skew to match the spirit. Like he uses the PSI way more, and he uses the PSI that Paula has more than his other moves. And you're like, oh, just that little thing. That's so fun, you know? Like it's those things that if you didn't play the game, you wouldn't get it. You would just have a fun little event. But if you did play the game, you would see how much love was put into it.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about you know the
one
story
thing
mode in general. Is it's
the one thing I wish was unlocked
mode.
from the start is the music. Good lord, there's this dumb song from Style Savvy called Ding Dong Dang or whatever it's called. I have spent the last week looking for this dumb song in the shop. Still haven't got it yet. I'm at like 20 songs left to unlock. It must be one of those 20. The odds are getting in my favor eventually. But it's funny that that's the one thing. They give you all the stages from the start, but they don't give you all the music on the stages.
Yeah, and I want to get all the songs, and that's a weird thing is like, and I always forget that goddamn shop is there. I'm like, I don't know how often it refreshes, but I'm like, damn it, if I could just always remember that it's there, you know, I could keep buying them, and I could probably have a lot more than I do now because I only remember it once in a while. It's like hidden.
Yeah, I mean, overall, like, it's weird that the vault exists as it is because it's sort of it is mostly just a music listener at this point, right? Like there's the challenges, and actually I like the challenges in this game. I like them being segmented off by the different modes of the game.
I mean, I kind of like it, except for the fact that they give you those hammers to break the ones you don't want to do. But then I was like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna break the ones that I feel like are really gonna be a pain in the ass. But you can't. You literally can't.
Yes. The hard ones.
Oh, thanks, Sakurai. The ones I don't want to do are the only ones you don't let me fucking break.
I want to give a little word to the wise. On the adventure one, I messed up because I beat it and I said I did 100%. And there's one of the challenges start new game plus. There's a new game plus for World of Light.
What?
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's basically just a reset, but you keep all your spirits and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, which is cool. But one of the challenges is do the final round of the final boss without getting KO'd. And no spoilers here, but I didn't do that, and I meant to go back, forgot to go back before I did New Game Plus. So I'm just gonna have to replay World of Light to get to the final boss again to get that challenge eventually, because I can't break it. So
wait, so if you didn't beat it. Oh, you have to beat it without getting. Wait, what?
I mean, I don't want to get too much. You can pick 3 characters for the final level, and so like if one of them dies, you start as the next character, sort of like Brawl. Right?
Okay. So you're not supposed to lose a single one.
You're not supposed to lose a single fighter during the whole level.
But you beat it with the losing one. Okay.
I lost. Yeah, I died at the very end, and I was like, that's fine. Didn't know that the challenge was there, so now I have to replay all of World of Light to get back to the final boss to do that challenge.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Well, talk to me in 2 years when I'll get it done. But yeah. So, but overall, I do like the challenge stuff. Games and More is, of course, we're missing a couple things in Games and More. Do you guys miss the home run contest? Do you miss?
Not after what it turned to in fucking Smash 4.
Yeah.
How stupid it has been. I don't care that it's gone now. It's like, you know, what would have done? Made it even dumber? Like, who cares?
Yeah. I do like I guess revamped is the word, classic.
I love it. I love it so much.
It's so good.
I do like classic mode, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best classic mode has ever been.
Yeah,
and you get great. Like each fucking character gets their own boss battle. Like some, not everyone, but a good majority of them. Like Mario fights Giga Bowser, Link and Zelda fight Ganon. It's amazing. I love, like when I first saw that Ganon fight with Link, I was like, oh, this is just like Ocarina of Time. I was like, oh, I actually have to hit his tail because that's the only place you can hurt him. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was
Ganon
super
fight
cool.
is really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, in Kirby you fight Marks, and that's like that fucking fight is crazy.
He's a nightmare creature. Marks is a nightmare.
Yeah,
I really like Just because the theming of it this can be so dumb sometimes. Like Sonic's, where every one is supposed to be one of his games, but they're like all the more recent games. So you end up in like Mushroomy Kingdom fighting Sheik, and Seven Rings in Hand is playing, and I'm like, they did a whole fight just for Sonic and the Secret Rings. Why would you do this? I'm so happy
I hated
that
that.
it exists.
I mean, because the stupid music's in the game.
I know. Well, all of Sonic's music's so stupid.
Hey,
it's amazing.
It's great. I love it. I mean, I love it.
From the City is a classic. That song's a banger.
Come on. I mean, I would pick the Windy Hill Zone or whatever it's called in Smash 4 a whole lot just to hear City Escape, to the point where my friends didn't want to play with me anymore.
For good reason.
Yeah, it's fair. But yeah, I mean, and like I've completed Classic more in this game than I did in I think Brawl or in Smash 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna beat it with everybody. I love it. It's awesome. There was a super cool one where with Ryu, every single one of his fights is a stamina fight in classic mode.
And they're all like references to Street
they're all
Fighter
references
characters.
to kind of like another Street Fighter character.
Yeah.
Which is neat. And then where how the bonus stage is usually like at the end, like before the boss. In Ryu's, it's where the bonus stage would be in Street Fighter. So it's like the fourth or fifth one, like instead. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool.
That's super. And part of it too is just I think every part of it really it pervades with this, like, it's one of the things I like most about Smash Ultimate overall is like it's not just about having the characters, it's about having what makes the characters, like all the stuff that surrounds them, like in Smash in whatever way they can, like Ryu is not just about having Ryu, it's about having a lot of the Street Fighter stuff. So they have tons more Street Fighter music than they did in Smash 4. Tons of, like this really wonderful fan service with the spirits and with the classic mode.
Tell that to Final Fantasy, Will.
I know. That's why Cloud stands out. That's the thing that's such a bummer. That's why he stands out so bad, is because they don't have that for Final Fantasy. Like it's a weird world where Persona is going to get better representation in Smash Brothers than Final Fantasy probably.
How did they drop the ball so badly on this?
I'm blaming Square Enix on this one. They must have had licensing issues.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Square is infamous. Final Fantasy in particular is infamous for being hard to have appear in other games. I mean, we mentioned this maybe before, but like Deus Ex, owned by Square, they wanted to put a reference to Final Fantasy Dissidia just on a poster in the game. It took 6 months to get the poster approved, because there's so many people can veto along the way, and all of them have to agree to have any appearance of any character in the game to show up. And so I think it's just a Square thing more than anything else. And if you listen to Sakurai's interviews, he's talking about how like everyone is here is a once in a lifetime thing, like he doesn't think he can do it again. And I think part of it is there are so many third parties he now has to work with to help, get this roster.
Like he really outdone himself with this one. It's like fucking. I mean, he does it every time. We think I can't get any better than this. He just did it again. It's amazing.
Well,
it's crazy.
But like this time, I really think the licenses are going to be a death of him next time.
Yeah. It's also,
I think Sonic's in for the long ride, and probably Pac-Man maybe at this point.
Sonic, maybe Mega Man, but I don't I don't know. I don't think Cloud's making it back next time.
I feel like Cloud's the only one that's probably in trouble, because even Konami was super generous this time with with Castlevania.
So
Thank you.
Yeah. I meant to ask, are there any characters that we've played as that like sort of feel new, even if they're not necessarily a newcomer, like that we've sort of looked at in Smash Ultimate and been like, oh, this person's cool, I want to like give them a shot now?
Link?
Yes. Definitely. Link feels great now.
Yeah.
Even Donkey Kong to some extent too. Just be like the change in his expressions makes me want to play him so much more now.
You're saying Link didn't feel good before?
I mean, he did, but like I don't know. I love his
dare
bomb.
You? Oh my god!
I love his bomb. It feels so good.
I actually dislike his bomb.
Oh, I love it.
Well, the thing that's fun is that Young Link still exists if you want to have the normal bomb. That's it's cool that you have the sort of traditional Link moveset in Link and Young Link and Toon Link.
Toon Link.
Toon Link is a little bit.
I like the new Ganondorf, that's for sure.
New Ganondorf is sick. I used him a ton in World of Light.
There's a couple characters too that like I just couldn't get a hang of. I don't think they changed him much, but in Smash 4 I couldn't get a hold of, like at all of Greninja. I played like 2 or 3 matches of Greninja in Ultimate, and I was like, damn, I love Greninja now. I don't know what it was. And then Snake too. Like I was like, dude, I used to hate Snake in Brawl. I was like, I can't get a hold of this guy. I can't. I suck with him. And then in this Ultimate, I was like, I won a couple matches with Snake. I was like, I love playing with him.
Yeah. I really like Palutena because Palutena was the biggest casualty of the custom moves problems in Smash 4 because all of her cool moves were not on her default set, you know? And one of her best ones was Lightweight, which is where she would just zip around and be able to move really fast. It seems like their compromise was, let's just make her have her lightweight speed all the time, basically. She's way faster now, and she actually feels like you can like pop in and out and have some fun with her in a way that, like, she was my least favorite character in Smash 4 probably, and she is one of the ones that I'm picking when I'm playing online now in Ultimate, which I think is awesome. Are there any?
I really like Simon and Richter.
Yeah,
really well done.
I know, I love them so much. Like them and K. Rool are like my favorite by far. Like I love them to death.
K. Rool is stupid good. I love.
Yeah,
I just love
so
winning
strong.
with him. Oh
that
my god,
fucking recovery, go to hell.
I hate it so much.
I hate it. He's bullshit because he's a fucking huge dude. And he has just this one of the best recoveries in the game. It's like, what?
He's a huge dude. He's the second heaviest character.
He has a counter. He has that huge recovery.
He has just a safe projectile basically with the crown.
Projectiles.
Like
2 projectiles. Yeah.
The man has everything. And that's fun. But like I really love Simon and Richter because, you know, in the old Castlevania games, the enemy does the most damage like when they touch you, right? Like it's sort of like and so in some ways it feels like they sort of brought that through where like they're zoning characters.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, so much yes to that. And that's why I love him so much. I finally have a character that fits my playstyle of do not get touched, don't rely on combos, just keep your distance and wail on them. And I fucking love it. I can spam projectiles. I have the range with the whip. I can attack at a safe distance. I fucking love it so much.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. Like it's fun because when you like hit the groove with them, you feel like a god. Like you're just like you said, you're not getting touched. You're just it's super
I
cool.
was playing against one of my friends online, and like they're pretty decent players too. But they're the type was just like they're like the type of fighter was just like they wait like to try and counter you, so like they react to your moves, like basically how like most fighting game players play, I guess. But like, so it was like whenever I played with them in general, I like really struggled because I'm very predictable with how I go about, and when it was very obvious when I'm trying to go after the kill, so they would just predict what I'm going to do and counter me and kill me instead. So using, like, with Simon and Richter, I love it because I can basically set the pace of the fight, and I could just fucking be safe and, like, a little bit less predictable than I am usually, and just, like, go ham. And I actually killed him without getting hit once in a match. It was amazing.
That's awesome. Like, yeah, and that's the thing is, like, it's almost overwhelming when you bring up the menu now. You know, like when you look at all the characters, like, who do I pick? With the stage select, it's even more hard. You're just like, I can't even see what these are. There's so many of them. But another one that I love going to now is Pokemon Trainer. Like, I did not like Pokemon Trainer in Brawl because of, you know, a couple of problems. One, if you wanted to stick to any one Pokemon, you would get weaker over time. All that stuff.
Yeah, I hated that. I hated it.
The weird weaknesses thing is gone now too. Where like in Brawl they were like take more damage based on the element of all the attacks of all the characters in the games, which was like neat idea, but just didn't work in execution as much. Now it's just this fun thing where I'm like, I'm using this. Now the swap is exclusive to them. You know, like Zero Suit Samus and Samus are now separate. Sheik and Zelda are now separate. So this is now their thing, is swapping out Pokemon. And so it's fun to have Squirtle as like the little. I'm gonna rack up damage. I'm gonna forward air you a whole bunch, just sort of like maneuver because he's so much faster than he was in Brawl. Then swap into Ivysaur, swap into Charizard to get the kill. It's fun. Just to play.
Just swap past Ivysaur because all you need is Squirtle and Charizard.
Ivysaur is good though. That's the thing. I didn't like Ivysaur in Brawl, but like his up air is crazy.
He's an anti-air man. I feel like, you know, if somebody's hopping all over the place, Ivysaur is very good.
Yeah. And so, you know, and I'm sure that next week I'll have 5 more characters I can mention that I think are cool and different. You know, like that's what's nice about
for sure. Because I feel like I only played as Simon the whole time.
I've
only been playing as Simon. No, I know. I just really wanted to get better with Simon because I love him so much.
Oh yeah,
That's fair.
So I mean, we did it. I thought we might go 40 minutes on Smash. We went 40 minutes on Smash. That's fine because it's a big game that we're gonna obviously be playing for years, right? Sakurai in the interview with Famitsu this week was like, I mean, I'd be fine if a Smash game didn't come out for 10 years, you know? And he like laughs, but you know, I in some ways, it's like, I feel like, I don't know. I mean, we've said it before, where do they go from here? But genuinely, where do they go from here? I don't know. So appreciate what we got while it's in front of us.
The best thing is, this game's not even done. We still got DLC characters coming out. So, you know, where do we go from here? I mean, we go with more DLC.
Yeah.
You know, they're never, I don't even think they will never top this game. You know, correct. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I have serious doubts.
Yeah, it's crazy. Just how big it is, and obviously we all like it a whole lot. But of course, that was a game that came out in the last week. Now let's take a look back at games that have come out at least a year ago on the list.
The list.
Ills. It is your time. We have
shine.
to shine. We have an even number, so watch out.
So if you want to follow, you can check the pace bin. I don't know if you know.
You're
that.
a glorious man. Thank you.
But anyway, I wanted to bring it back to, well, I think I've said this multiple times before, but my goal is to reconcile this new list with our old list, and as a major part of that old list was a game that was near and dear to all our hearts in the original Game Club. Trash It.
Yay.
Trash It is here. I've not played Trash It. So.
Oh my god. What do we even say about this game?
So no one's heard of this game. What is this game?
No, yeah,
Nobody's heard of this.
Yeah, it's a very, very non-known game.
I want to describe it as sort of like a 2D platformer / puzzle game.
Okay.
Because the goal of... Wait, what?
No, I said,
goal...
that kind of fits it.
Yeah, because the goal is to destroy all the trash in the area, suck it up with your vacuum, and then collect these little, whatever they're called, Timmies. Mm-hmm. They're like small hammers running around, and you need to collect them as much as you can per level, because at the end of, or at the middle of each world, and at the end of the world, you're going to get checked for how many Timmies you have. So if you don't have enough, you have to go back to the level and do it over again.
Oh.
And because you need those to buy a better hammer in order to break the gate standing in your way. And that's how it goes for like the first 5 levels or so.
Okay.
And then later on, there's 8 worlds in this game. Actually, I think 9 worlds in this game. It's extremely long, way longer than it needs to be. So yeah, and it's real hard to get through. It's a really hard game, actually. The checkpoints are few and far between, and the animations are real slow. The game doesn't really get going until like the 5th world, or like that's when I actually felt like I was enjoying some small part of it. But other than that, it's a real slog.
Yeah, so I've seen your chronicles in chat of going through this. I'm aware that not generally well liked, but like it just. I watched like 5 minutes of it. It looked, maybe it was the end game where there's like a weird part where you're piloting, like it's like a shooter.
Oh my fucking god! Don't get me started, bro. Oh Jesus.
No, the game was really ambitious. Like it was trying a lot of things for its time. So, like, a lot of things didn't make sense. A lot of things were hard to understand. Like, things that you never figure out how to do.
They don't tell you anything about how to activate it.
Yeah.
They don't tell you shit. They don't tell you how to play the game. The game makes no fucking sense when you first start.
Well, alright. I think you're going a little overboard because they do show you, like, little demos.
Oh, little demos, yeah. But, like...
Man. I mean, I figured it out. So, it's not completely inscrutable. But that one part... It's like, they don't tell you anything. They just set you in this room, and you can't get past the barriers, and you're supposed to figure out to put in a 4-move combination on your D-pad in order to make the hammer fly from your hands. It's like completely like nothing else ever shown in the game before. Or after. It's so weird.
Yeah, but it's like
believe that happened.
Yeah, like you just think it's just gonna be like, oh, it's a guy in a construction hat, like he's just going around smashing shit, and then it's like they throw in like all these like you can do like a running, tumbling, super long jump to get across like giant gaps, and then there's like there's portals in there, and
yeah,
it's just
teleporters, and you go into outer space.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. I was like, I loved it as a kid. I was like, I was crazy about this game, but I also got to play, like, have a lot of fun with multiplayer with it, which was fun, which had you combine all these different things. But, like, I never was able to beat the single player because I just got stuck because it was so hard, and like it was very, very little bit room for error in general. So like, and when we revisited the last game club on the last podcast we had. I didn't have enough time to beat it, even with like the 2 weeks that we usually do. It was like I didn't get past the third world. I was stuck. So I never went back to finish it, even though I've always wanted to go back and finish it.
I don't. I got to like world, like I don't know, maybe around the same as Noah, maybe like world like 4 or something. But I just remember my experience with this game being like, okay, I've never heard of this game. Looked it up, said it was never released in America. All right, interesting. Started playing it. First thing I said, okay, I saw the graphics. I was like, this looks kind of neat. Like, kind of like maybe like kind of reminded me like a Wallace and Gromit looked, like the dude.
Bob the Builder vibes was my first.
Bob the Builder, kind of claymation looking.
Yeah.
Dude. And I was like, all right. And then I instantly was like, I hate the music. And I hate the sounds. I didn't like the music. None of it like.
It's not very good. No.
It just didn't feel like at all like it knew what it was trying to do. It was so weird. I thought it was going to be like a cool game where I just went around like destroying shit, but all of a sudden I was like, oh wait, this is like a puzzle game. But also like I don't like the mechanics, and the animations were slow, and it took me a while to figure out even like how to whip my vacuum out. And I was like, what is going on? It showed like the tutorials. I don't know. Like the whole thing just was off-putting to me. And then I was like, I hate this game. That's all I could say.
To be fair, I hated it too.
Okay. So we hate.
I can understand all the other guys' frustrations. I completely understand it is justified. But despite me loving the game.
So, Ills, you brought Trash It. We have trashed it. Where do you want to put it on the list?
I want to put it right above Blinks the Time Sweeper.
Okay.
Because that's where it belongs, right in hell. Because fuck that game.
That's fair enough. I mean, I hate it. I think it definitely goes to hell to me too.
I had no doubts I was going to go in hell, but put it above Knack. I just want to put it above Knack.
I had the misfortune of playing beating Trash It and Blinks within the same month. That was a real hard month for me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I think my favorite thing about you beating Blinks was you saying at the beginning, being like, this game's not that bad. What are you talking about?
Well, yeah, because in the beginning, it's like, okay, easy. It's pretty easy. And then, oh, man. World 6, World 7, you like fucking blow my brains out already.
Yeah, that ice world can actually like burn in hell where it belongs. Like melt all that ice. So it's okay. So you played both Blinks and Trash It, but you think Trash It would be above?
God,
Sophie's choice.
Fucking Trash It though. It has that part. If you don't look it up, you're not getting past it.
You literally would never get past it. I mean, I would personally put Trash It below Blinks, even though I hate them both a lot. But,
But then Blinks has that bullshit at the end. Those fighting all those bosses. Oh,
yeah, at least you were starting to enjoy some of the parts in Trash It at one point.
Why you make me do this, man? Fight Trash. Oh, man.
All right, let's put it above.
Yeah, let's put it above. I fucking hate Blinks.
Right.
I hate them both. I hate them both. And I've never played Knack, so I can't say, But from what I hear about Knack, it's like as inoffensive as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also as boring as possible.
But I'd take inoffensive over fucking making me rage. Super rage.
Yeah, I will take that too.
Yeah. Knack is whack, but he's not that bad. So I think that is it. Do we do it?
Yeah.
Yep.
That sounds good.
All right.
With that.
but you know what? Trash gets the special honor, I think, right? Is it number? Oh my God, it is. It's number 69. We did it, boys. Oh baby. That is where it's going on the list, surrounded by number 67, Discworld Noir, number 68, Knack, number 70, Trash It, number 7, excuse me, no, I'm sorry.
69.
69, Trash It, 70, Blinks the Time Sweeper, 71, Paper Mario Sticker Star. You know what? Noah, we dumped on your childhood game a little bit here. So I think you've earned the final phrase. So while you think on that, of course, plugs, twitter.com/Jump Up Supercast, the place where all of our episodes go out when they are posted, including the Game Club, which we are going to be uploading this Thursday. Please look forward to it. Another Noah pick, so please be excited for that. We have Demon's Crest, a game that is pretty cool.
That won't be in hell.
Won't be in hell.
Noah.
Spoiler alert.
Well, I mean, Firebrand is from hell technically. So.
He is from hell, but he made his way out of hell.
He rose out of hell.
Yeah.
You guys remember Devil's Crest? It was a pinball game. I always got those two confused for a very long time. No. But that is also twitch.tv/Jump Up Supercast. Brandon was just talking earlier about potentially streaming Smash one day, and if you come along and chat, joining our arenas, because the arenas let you do that, which would be cool.
Yeah, let's do it. Join. We'll post it on Twitter. Maybe I'll post it a couple days prior. We'll plan something so you know when it's going to happen.
I'll try to clear up my calendar so I can be there too, maybe. But that will be exciting. Special guest. We'll see. Maybe. But that is the Jump Up Supercast for this week. Well, thank you all for listening. And now, Noah, your final phrase.
I want the main character from Trash It to be an assist trophy in Smash one day.
Oh, get out of here.
Yeah, fuck you.
Fucking garbage last comment.